Hey friends, Sleepy here. Welcome to a brand new episode of my weekly gaming playlist series. We made it to another Friday, so it's time to do a recap, do an overview of the games I played this past week with you guys. Let you guys know if I think you should check them out or not. Of course, I'd like to hear your thoughts. Let me know if you guys enjoyed any of the games I shared with you today. Maybe there's something you liked about them, maybe something you didn't enjoy. I always enjoy hearing about the games you guys are playing. That gives me ideas of new games to play and experience. And if you guys have a recommendation on a game you think I might enjoy playing, let me know. Please keep the suggestions coming. You guys have suggested some really good games to me over the last several years, so I really appreciate it, so keep it up. And this week, just got one game for you guys, and we're continuing with the game I had started playing the past week, and that was Robocop Rogue City Unfinished Business. This is for the Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5. It is a 9th gen exclusive. It's also on the PC, and this is the wonderful standalone DLC that was released for Robocop Rogue City, the original one they played back in 2023. Beat that game, absolutely loved it, got 100%, did all the main quests and stuff in that. And so when I heard that they were having sequel slash standalone expansion to it, I was really excited. What's also great too is that the entry point for this is only $30, so it's half the price of the old one. So that's really awesome. It's only $30. You can get it digitally. You can get it physically. However, physical copies are pretty limited, especially on Xbox consoles. So this is one of the ones you want to get physically. I'd recommend tracking down a copy now rather than waiting too long, because eventually it'll probably become expensive because Xbox is really focusing more towards digital-only future, and so they're making less physical copies out there for games. So this is one you may want to pick up sooner rather than later. But it's really awesome, great follow-up. If you loved the original Rogue City, you'll love this one. And you play again as Robocop. But now what's cool is you also get to play as Alex Murphy before he became Robocop, which was cool. You also get to play as an Ed 209. You get to control one. That was a really fun level to play through. And then there's also two other characters you play as, which I'm not going to mention it, who they are, the names or anything. It's part of doing the story, so I don't want to ruin that. But you do get to play as 5 total characters in this game, which is cool. In the original Rogue City, you only played as 1 character, so it's really awesome. I'll read you guys from the back. An army of mercenaries, only 1 cop can stop them. Fight crime to the top of OCP's tower, play as Alex Murphy, Ed 209, and more. And so this takes place after the events of Robocop Rogue City, and it is set before the events of the 3rd Robocop movie. So both games are sandwiched in between Robocop 2 and Robocop 3 for story-wise, which is really cool. So you have all the classic voice actors are back. Peter Weller is back again voicing Alex Murphy and Robocop, which is really cool. And it has its own unique story that takes place in this OCP's Omni Tower. And there's a new antagonist, so a new enemy for Robocop. This mercenary force is taking over that tower, and Robocop goes there to shut them down and get the tower's control back, because they've taken control of all the tenants that live there. And you have to go there and fight them, and there's a whole story and everything, and it's really cool. It connects itself to the movies and to Robocop 3, which was awesome. There's the main story for you to go through, as well as side stuff, and you can get anywhere from 8 to 15 hours in this game. It took me about 15 hours to actually beat the game. Now, I did play longer than that, but that's because I replayed a couple of chapters to get missing stuff that I got for like collectible stuff. So what's really cool is the game does create checkpoints for you at every mission, and so there's 11 missions total. So if you miss anything, you don't have to start the whole game over. You can always load one of those other missions and get anything you're missing, including achievements and stuff. Really awesome. So let's check out some Robocop Rogue City Unfinished Business. Alright guys, we're checking out some more Robocop Rogue City Unfinished Business. This is an awesome standalone expansion to that wonderful Robocop Rogue City. It's a continuation of the story, so it takes place after Robocop Rogue City. So I recommend, if you haven't played that game, play that first, then play this one. It's a whole new story, new characters are introduced, and just really overall a fun game. I loved Rogue City, and this game is just more of that, and it's awesome. Now what I really like is you get to play as other characters besides just Robocop. In the first game you were just Robocop only. In this one you get to play as Robocop, but you also get to play as Alex Murphy as a human before he became Robocop. You also get to play as an Ed 209 for the first time. And you also get to play as 2 other characters. I don't want to say who they are because it's part of the story. I want you guys to discover that for yourself. But it's awesome that you can play as more than just Robocop, which I thought was great. Game looks awesome, has wonderful visuals, has great music, and just overall a really fun game. I'm currently on mission 9 of 11, and so I'm getting closer to the end of the game. I'm looking forward to beating it because I really enjoyed Rogue City, and I'm having a lot of fun with the story. The basic story is that a mercenary group has taken over OCP's new Omni Tower. It's a new tower they're testing out where they want to force residents to live in a giant community that has like a school, it's got a movie theater, it's got apartments, it's got shops. It's basically like everybody can just stay living in this building and not have to ever leave it. And that's OCP's idea for the future, along with Delta City. And so that's where the story takes place, because this is before Robocop 3. It takes place after Robocop 2 and before 3, so it's sandwiched in between those. So I'm going to load an older mission for you guys and show you some gameplay and stuff. Now what's cool is there's nothing that's 100% missable. If you miss a collectible or you miss an achievement or something that's tied to a specific mission, you can always reload an old mission to keep them here, so you never have to worry about, oh, I missed something, I want to start the whole game over. You don't have to do that. You can simply load one of these checkpoints that it creates for you. And so that's what I'm going to do here. Now what's cool is this has all the classic music from the original game and the movie and stuff. Just fantastic. Great voice acting. I love that Peter Weller reprised his role as Robocop in that game. He also came back to do this sequel as well, which is great. It is a first-person shooter. You have your pause menu here. You can take care of those tutorials and stuff that pop up as you play through the game. It'll teach you how. So if you forget how to do something, you can come through here and look. Great menu system. You have your map, which you can go through, which keeps track of where stuff is. So that's awesome. You can see where you need to go when you're playing through the story. You have your main objectives. So that's the main story you're working on. It'll give you a little synopsis of what's going on. You earn experience and stuff. And then you also have miscellaneous objectives that you can take on. These are the side objectives. And when you complete them, everything you've completed will be down here. So it keeps track of everything there, and that's how you earn your XP. You have your Auto 9, which is Robocop's trusty auto handgun. And you can put different circuit boards that you find throughout the game, and you can change them to augment his power, so it increases the weapon and stuff. And you find these different chips. You start with some, but you have to find OCP chests that are hidden throughout all the levels. And you find those chips, and then you're able to put them in here, and you can augment him and make him stronger. So that's really cool. And the thing is, you want to try to not activate those red penalty icons there by using chips that don't provide power to it. So you have to have chips that have special openings where the power will flow to. And so I've been working on keeping that so that I don't have any penalties. You can also combine chips to make your own and make them stronger. Robocop does have various skills, just like in the first game, that you can level up, like his combat, armor, vitality, engineering, focus, scanning, and deduction. It all has different abilities, and when you get to stuff here, like that, made high damage reduction, so now I can take more damage without getting hurt as quick, which is cool. I also have 4 skill points, and you earn skill points every time you get 1,000 XP, and you earn XP by doing missions and completing side objectives and finding evidence like stolen bags, fake IDs, fake money, the nuke drug from Robocop 2. So it pays to explore the maps and look everywhere to get as much XP as you can so you can level, because this game is definitely not easy. So I recommend doing all you can. So we get that saved there. And then the final thing is just your archives that just keeps track of notes you find, and then of course the tutorials and stuff. It is a first-person shooter, which I like, and man, these graphics look amazing on my Xbox Series X playing here on my 4K TV. Awesome game. And the story will take you anywhere from 8 to 14 hours, just depending on how thorough you are. I've got a little over 12 hours myself. I'm currently on mission 9 of 11. But I've been taking my time exploring, making sure I don't miss anything, and just, you know, enveloping myself in the world and just taking it in. I like taking my time with games. I don't like rushing them. I just love getting involved in it and just experiencing a wonderful story. And this game is awesome. Now we're going to check out some combat. But what's also cool is Robocop is also the detective, so just like in the first game, you do have to analyze clues and solve puzzles to help progress the story, which is really cool. So he does have a vision mode where he's able to scan stuff and tell you what he detects. And you do sometimes have to solve crime scenes, which is cool. You can also run by pushing in the left stick, so Robocop does run, but it's not very quick, as he is a big, giant, hulking machine. So anytime a new enemy is introduced in a level, it'll give you a little preview here to tell you what they are and what they can do. So your Auto 9 has unlimited ammo, but you can find weapons from the enemies and use them against them, but it is limited to the ammo that they have. And you can only carry 2 guns at a time, but you can always count on your trusty Auto 9. And what I love is if you hold the left stick, you can get his vision mode up, and it'll highlight where all the enemies are in green, and so it can pinpoint where they're at.
Vegas 1, be ready to respond. Over.
And I do recommend going for headshots because that'll make it easier to kill the enemies. There we go, I picked up one of their weapons. And some enemies have armor, so you have to pierce through their armor to kill them. Sometimes they'll have helmets on. You'll have to blast their head for a while to get the helmet off so you can get access to their head for headshots. Now, Robocop is not invulnerable. I do have a health bar, and so as I take damage, I start losing health, and you can die. You do have recovery charges, which you can only have 4, but if you upgrade your health, you can actually carry 5. And then you have to use those to heal you, and they only heal you so much. And so those are thrown out throughout the level. You want to find them, but you also want to use cover and stuff. They fixed the issue when they first had the original Robocop Rogue City. They showed a demo where basically Robocop was like indestructible and nothing really damaged, and people felt like that really doesn't make fun for a game if you can't get hurt and die. So they made it to Robocop actually takes damage and can die to make it a much more challenging game. And I think they did the right decision there. You can also use the environment to your advantage. You can even pick up enemies and you can throw them into objects. Like if I had an enemy near this fan, I could throw his head into it. So I'll show you guys so you can do some takedowns. It's pretty cool having those takedowns. There's a variety of them around the levels that you can use to your advantage. You can also pick up enemies and just throw them if you want to.
Enemy
You also have melee. You can punch enemies, but if they're armored, you may have to punch them multiple times. There's another takedown we did. And I'll try to punch a guy if I can. They use a healing charge there because those guys do incredible damage. And what's cool is you can check the map of where your objective is. Now, if you go and you highlight a secondary objective that's not a police work one, an actual one that's telling you like find a person or help find something for somebody, it'll actually display it a different icon in your map, and you'll know where to go. So you can click on it, and it'll tell you this is the 1 in a million, which is the name of the main story. So that's where the main story objective is. But if there's side objectives, it'll actually show on the map for you. So you may know to like, oh, I got to go down a different corridor to get to it, because if you do the main story and you can actually skip side quest stuff, so you want to make sure you know you don't advance the story if you're going after doing all the side stuff. So that's why I don't rush through this, because you might rush through somewhere and go to a gate that closes and then you can't get it. You have to reload a checkpoint. So just something for you guys to be aware of. So there's some drugs there, though. Give you XP. So that's where you want to look for stuff in the environment so you can find it. And so now I'm just going to show you guys like doing a little puzzle here with what his scanning abilities are. And then it'll tell you deceased, no signs of life. And so now he's trying to scan and do this little puzzle here. So now, just like in the first game, now we're doing the crime scene here. We're trying to search for clues. So now it updates your objective, and it also gave us different ones we can take on. There's 3 main ones, and what's cool is you can do them in any order you want. And sometimes when you go through these different areas, you actually uncover other additional side quests that you can take on. You don't have to, but I recommend it so that you can get more XP to level up, because the further along you get in the game, they start throwing more tough enemies at you, more armor, stronger enemies, and the more skills you have leveled up, the easier the game is going to be for you and have better attributes and things unlocked. But it's just a really fun game that I definitely think you guys should check out. If you love the original Robocop Rogue City, you definitely owe it to yourself to play this expansion. It continues the story, and it's just as awesome as the original game was. And it's only $30. I mean, that's amazing. For a 10-hour, 12-hour game for $30, it's a hell of a deal. You can't beat it. Alright guys, so there's our look at Robocop Rogue City Unfinished Business. I had a lot of fun playing with the game. I did beat it, got 100%, got all the achievements, did all the story missions, all the side missions and everything. Really enjoyed the game. It does control well for a first-person shooter. The controls are very tight and responsive. You can adjust and tweak stuff through the settings, which there's a lot of settings in that, which is good. Really had a lot of fun with it. There are occasional slowdown moments that I noticed in the game. There were some issues and stuff when the game first launched back in July, but since then they have released a patch, and they are currently working on more patches to fix any issues. So they really are listening to the fans, which is awesome. That's why I like Taeon. You know, if there's an issue, people tell them, and then they work on fixing the issue, and they don't just leave their games broken. So that's really awesome. Really had a lot of fun with this game. It was an amazing story. Really enjoyed it. It did give me a lot of Judge Dredd vibes when I played it, because if you guys had watched the Judge Dredd movie from 2012 with Carl Urban, and it takes place in a giant apartment complex, well, this has similar like setting, and I really did get those Judge Dredd vibes, and I really enjoyed it, though. It was a really wonderful story, wonderful game. I love the music. It has a classic music from the movie, plus the game has its own unique music. It was just fun fighting the enemies. I loved how the game got progressively more difficult as they started throwing more adversaries at you and new ones. I love the RPG elements where you can level up Robocop and make his gun stronger and all kinds of cool stuff there. I just really enjoyed this game. It was a wonderful, well-crafted game, and I highly recommend playing Robocop Rogue City, and then playing the expansion pack Unfinished Business. And I recommend buying it and adding it to your collection, whether you get it physically or digitally. It's only $30, and you're getting an 8 to 15 hour experience that's definitely worth the $30 price point. I really enjoyed it, had a lot of fun with it, and I plan to eventually play through it again, as well as Rogue City itself. I would like to play through both of them again in the future because I just enjoyed the story that much. It's the best Robocop games they've ever made. Compared to the old ones, I like some of the old ones, but they're nothing compared to these new ones that are just amazing games. Highly recommend them. But let me know, have you guys played Robocop Rogue City Unfinished Business? What were your guys' thoughts on this game? Would love to hear about the games you guys have been playing lately, and if you have a recommendation on a game you think I might enjoy playing, let me know. I'm always looking for new games to play and experience. Alright guys, want to thank you for watching. Take care, you guys have an amazing day, and Sleepy will see you next time.